Hi, it's Patrick from J&P Cycles, and this is our road tested review of Icon's Field Armor compression shirt. And I just want to say, when we test stuff here at J&P Cycles, we always go the extra mile. We just don't put it on and walk around the shop or go for one ride. We generally test stuff very, very thorough. And this one, we went a little extra far. Unintentionally, I actually ended up crashing in this twice, which is kind of crazy because most of the time when you test safety gear, protective gear, you don't end up crashing, so you kind of don't really get to really test it. I didn't mean to crash in this, but I did crash in it twice, one fairly significant time. But before we get to that, let's get into some specifics, and then we'll get into how it actually performed in the crash situation. So, this is a compression shirt. Sizing wise, I would wear it just like you would any other kind of like athletic fit compression shirt. I'm 5'6", 235 pounds, clearly like my snacks, and I would wear this in a large. You want it to fit very, very tight because you don't want it loose underneath whatever you're wearing. This is meant to be worn underneath something, and also you don't want it loose because then when you crash, the padding would kind of roll on you. You want it nice and tight fitting. So it's made from their Hydradry liner, which pulls the sweat and moisture away from you. And then the back, shoulders, elbows, and chest all have D3O padding in it. If you're not familiar with D3O armor, it's very soft, flexible, and lightweight, but when it takes an impact, it actually stiffens up. Really trick armor. Like I said, it's in the shoulders, elbows, in the back, and the chest, all the places you need it. There are some other pads throughout here. I don't think that are D3O, but they're helpful. And then in the other places where you have the D3O, you have a Kevlar reinforced material here, which is abrasion resistant, and you can really feel that. You can kind of hear it here too, where this is nice and soft. The stuff on the outside of the padding is a little more tactile and rough feeling, and that's that Kevlar reinforced fabric there, which is really nice. If you were to go down on pavement, that's what's going to keep you from getting scarred up and things from blowing apart. That's going to hold together, which is really important on those impact points. Even though there's padding underneath there, that Kevlar reinforcement is going to keep that fabric together and keep it from tearing apart. It's very, very lightweight and it fits great. In the past, I've always been a little bit reluctant to wear a lot of armor because it restricts movement. You kind of feel big and bulky. This was none of that. This was super comfortable, easy to wear. With a jersey on over the top of it, you can barely even tell you have it on. I haven't worn it too much on the street, but I wore it to trail ride a bunch. And then I started wearing it to hooligan race. I've been wanting to step up my armor game in the hooligan racing for a while. And like I said, everything's always kind of big and bulky. I wore this multiple times. Like I said, I even wore it in like the Vegas heat. And it wasn't overbearing at all. I didn't get too hot. Like I said, the moisture wicking stuff really works. Also, another thing about wearing this, I like that it actually zips up here. A lot of the compression shirts you have to kind of fight your way into and out of, especially if you get all sweaty. The zipper here makes this real easy to get in and out of. The thumb loops here keep it on your body, keeps that from riding up. I had one pretty uneventful crash on the hooligan bike. Just tucked the front in, no harm, no foul. But the second one was in a main. I made a mistake and a little mini high side, which wasn't even really that big a deal. But the guy behind me unavoidably ran me over. He really had no choice. And a tire of the bike actually went over my head. The peg hit me in the back, and then the rear wheel ran over my arm. And it all happened very fast. And I tell you what, the biggest thing I noticed right away was I had a little soreness right in the middle of my back. I felt like somebody punched me in the back a little bit. So took the armor off. It actually shows no signs of tearing or impact or a puncture or anything like that. But my back, where my back was, you could see the impact of the armor and where it spread the impact out. You could see the little holes. The D3O has holes in it so keep it breathable. Taking a foot peg in the back from a 400 or 500 pound hooligan bike could be very, very serious. And I tell you what, this just worked like a charm. Like I said, it felt like I didn't even bruise. It felt like I got kind of punched or kicked in the back, but other than the nice D3O tattoo I had on my back for a couple of days, this worked perfectly. A lot of times in hooligan racing, arms and elbows and stuff, when you fall, get beat up and scraped up. This worked wonderfully. So like I said, it's not often that we have a chance to actually crash test some gear. We did crash in this stuff, and it performed very, very well. Couldn't be happier with this stuff. I will be wearing it from now on. And this is something I think you could even wear on the street. If you wanted, if you're an aggressive street rider, or if you're just in a terrifying commute situation, this slips on underneath pretty much anything you wear. Unless you wear your clothes skin tight, you can pretty much put this on anything you wear, take it on and off very easily with the zipper. Highly recommend this. As always, if you have any comments, feel free to hit us up in the comment section. Otherwise, go ride those motorcycles.